Hi, Natasha. Good evening.
Hi. I want to just see if I can make this light a little bit
Hi,
less.
Natasha. Can you hear me?
I can. Is my lighting good?
Please just give me a minute to confirm. I
Okay.
can't hear you clearly. Hi, Natasha. Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, awesome.
Am I clear?
Yes. You're very, very clear. Thank you.
Can you hear background noise at all?
Oh, no, I can't.
All right. Cool. I'm going to, and lighting and stuff is fine, right? Yes.
What about you?
You're breaking up on my side. Let's see what's behind you. Did you say something?
Oh, sorry, no, I'm not. Welcome. So we're just going to wait until everyone else comes.
Okay, I'm just going to mute.
How are you?
I'm just going to mute for a second.
Can you hear me?
I can, but you're like breaking up.
Okay, that's
okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
Hi, Natasha. Good afternoon.
Hi, Elizabeth. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How has your day been?
My day was fine, always fine. It's going fine. How is yours going?
Well, a lot has been happening, but then it's just one of those days I get.
Well done.
Okay, thank you. Can we also my screen?
So I wanted to ask, is for the moderation, right? Am I to share my video, like show my camera?
Yes, please. Your camera and your videos have to be on. All right, so I can see we're already having a lot of attendees. Hi, everybody. Please confirm if you can hear me in the chat box. Hi, Nana.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear you?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. I can hear you very clearly. Hi, Nana. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Elizabeth. How has your day been? And I hope you're all looking forward to today's event like I am.
Yes, I am.
Okay,
I'm
so
doing well
just wait
too.
for, oh, okay, nice to hear that. So just wait for we'll just wait for Adora to join soon, and we'll kick off once it's 4 p.m. Hi everyone, if you can hear me in the hi to all of our attendees, if you can hear me, kindly comment on the chat box. Oh, awesome, awesome. So you can comment with your name and your country. Hi everyone. So I'm going to start. My name is Oluwa Adetula and I'm from Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria precisely. So you just comment with your name and your country where you're coming from. All right, so you can do that while waiting for every other person to come. All right, I can see Chidima. Hi, Chidima. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Gospel. Oh, hi, Nelly. Oh, how is Kenya today? Hi, Ali Sidama. Oh, nice. I hope Abuja is treating you well. So you can just leave a comment on the chat box. And once it's full, we'll kick off officially. Okay. So before we start officially, I'm just gonna clear start music. Once again, I'd like to welcome everyone who is here today. Welcome to the January edition of the Women Techsters Open Day. Please write your name and your country. Thank you. Once again, I'd like to welcome everyone to the January edition of the Women Techsters Open event. Like I said earlier, can you introduce yourself in the chat box with your font is for? Okay, it's for, and then my name is Januaryr Edition. I'm Program Associate at Tech for Dev. And I'm here with amazing panelists who are ready to, tell us a lot about their tech journey, and they are ready to, tell you reasons why you should start a tech career today. I promise that at the end of this session, you're going to be enlightened. At the end of this session, you're going to see much more reasons why you should be a woman in tech. Okay, so I have my colleague on the call, Blessing. Hi, Blessing. I hope you can hear me. Hi, Blessing. Okay, so Blessing will be joining us soon and she'll be taking over. I can see you can still keep sending in your names and where you're coming from in the chat box. Hi, Sharon from Kenya. Good evening, Miracle. Hi. I hope you're enjoying Nigeria today. And also, you can tell us your expectations for this event. You could just write it in the chat box what exactly your expectations are. Hi, Jayola from Nigeria. Nice to meet you. Hi, Faith from Kenya. Hi, Mary Jane from Abuja. Nice to meet you. So just write your expectations in the chat box. What exactly it is that you'd like to see, what exactly it is you'd like to get from the end of this session. Hi, Halira from Kano. Wow, Kano, how is Kano today? Okay, okay. Okay, yes, I can still see your names in the chat box. All right, hi, Blessings. I think Blessing is back on the call. Hi, Blessing. So Blessing will just give us a little bit of overview. So Blessing is the program's lead at Tech for Dev, and she's going to give us opening remarks into the Women Techsters Open Day. Hi, Blessing. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, hi, Promise. Good evening from Uyo. Oh, hi, Tayo from Nigeria. Nice to see us all here. Hi, Faith Abraham from Abuja. I'd like to hear in the comment section what you'd like to keep, what you'd like to learn from today's session exactly. So we have, I'm pretty sure you must have seen the flyers on our social media pages. Oh, hi, Liz from Kenya. How is Kenya today? So we have 3 industry expert ladies in the tech space who have gone and, they've achieved so many milestones. And of course, we have our wonderful moderator who is right here, ready to kick us in. All right, Highness. That I hope I pronounced that right. What would you like to gain at the end? Exactly, it is you'd like to learn, you'd like to gain. Oh, hi, Miss Belly. Okay, so I can see Halira saying I'm super excited to start my tech journey, and I look forward to getting all the clarity I need from this event. Awesome. All right, so right now I'm going to be handing over to my colleague on the call, Tony. Hi, Tony, can you hear me?
Hi, Ore. Yes, I can. Good evening to you. All right, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the first Open Day in the year 2023. This is the first Open Day we are holding this year. We're super excited. Last year, we were able to host 10 Open Days from January down to November, right? It was an amazing session. We hosted over 28 speakers, fantastic women who shared their experiences in the tech space, who shared amazing things that they are doing in the tech industry. And I tell you, it was really motivating because we got a lot of feedback from young ladies that, you know, shared how much knowledge they got from the session and how the session changed their life. So if you're here this evening, I want to assure you that you're going to get a lot of insights from this session today. We have amazing people that are joining us from different countries in Africa. We have people from Ghana, we have someone from South Africa, we have people in Nigeria, right? And we have you, our attendees, joining you from over 54 countries in Africa and even outside of Africa. So we are super excited to have each and every one of you. So like my colleague already said, we'd like to get to know you, we'd like to get to meet you, would like to get to find out where it is that they are joining us from and what your expectations are. This is important because it helps us to know who you are and how it is that, you know, we can better explain what tech is to you. So keep it coming. We want to see where you're joining us from, your name, the country you're joining us from. We're super excited. I can see quite a limited number of people already, but I just want to see a lot of your responses in the chat box so I can introduce, you know, everybody. And while we're doing that, I'm also going to be walking you through the agenda of the Open Day today, what it is that we have in store for you, and, you know, just to build your expectation and ensure that you stay true to the end. So I can see Kwashe from Lagos. It's a pleasure to meet you. I can see Blessing from Kwara State, Nigeria. That's the western part. Welcome. I can see Evelyn from Kenya. It's great to meet you. I can see Ebube from Lagos, Nigeria. I can see Adenike from Ekiti, Nigeria. I can see my namesake, Toyin, from Ilori. Hi, Toyin. Nice to meet you. Okay, I can see Cynthia from Nairobi, Kenya. Oh, I'm super excited to meet you. I can see Kome from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I can see Kwashe from Lagos. I can see Tope from Nigeria. I can see Amina from Ghana. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I just thought to add, if you know somebody that is supposed to be in this event here today, it would be great to share the registration link with them. This is because you know, they'll be able to join in the session. Even though it has started, they still have the opportunity to join in the session. So, you know, share that link with them and encourage them to join in also. All right, so I also want to see your expectations. What do you expect to get from this session? Let me know in the chat box. You're joining the Open Day. You know, it's an event where we tell you about the tech space, how do you transition in it. But I want to know what is it that you're expecting, you know, from the session? What answers do you want to get? Are you seeking clarity about what learning track to join in? Stuff like that. So anything whatsoever that you're expecting from the event, just join in. And if it's that you want to get more information about programs that you can join in, drop it in the chat box. I also want to read that out, right? So yes, I can see Kenneth from Port Harcourt, Francesca from Lagos, Stella from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. It's a great pleasure to meet you. I can see Yewande from Lagos, Messi Ejindu from Lagos, Nigeria, Lekina from South Africa. We have a South African speaker in our midst, Natasha. I'm sure you're going to enjoy, you know, the session with her and the other amazing speakers that we have on the call today. So please keep it coming. Now, I want to see more of your expectations. It would be great to be able to see what it is that you're expecting from the event today. Awesome, Ogechi. You said looking to get information on how to enter the tech world and also gain impactful knowledge. I'm sure you are the right spot to learn that. You're going to definitely get those information and you're going to know how it is to enter the tech space. Don't worry, we have amazing agendas packed up to answer that question for you, right? So just stay tuned with us. So I want to see more expectations. Please feel free to tell me what it is that you're expecting from the session. So I can see somebody say, I am excited to join and I have so many questions about the programs I saw on your page. This is very important. And yes, I'll walk you through the agenda, but let me just quickly add, if you don't stay to the end of the program, you're not going to find out about the programs on you know, the programs that we offer as an organization. So this is very, very important. We're going to explore. You're going to even watch amazing videos about some of the programs that we do here at Tech for Dev that are women focused, you know, women centers. So do stay on the call. We're going to definitely answer that expectation of yours. So yes, keep it coming while I just walk you through the agenda. So very shortly, we'll have an opening remark from our programs lead, from the programs lead of Women Techsters Initiative here at Tech for Dev in place of Blessing Ashe. And just after that, we're going to have an opening address by our executive director, in person of Januaryr Edition, an amazing woman. You're going to enjoy that session greatly. Stay tuned. Hold on to that. Don't miss that. Before I continue, I want to read out this expectation. So I can see Joanna from Ghana, who says her self-giving Nigerian name is Anikulapo. I wonder why that is. I don't know if you watched the movie, right? Okay, because I love Nigeria people. Awesome, we love you too. She says she's new in the tech space and she expects to leave the space with an understanding of what the tech space is about and more information about your programs. Thanks. And I love the fact that she says Eshe. Eshe means thank you in Yoruba. You're welcome. You're most welcome, Joanna. And I assure you that you're definitely going to get an answer to that question. Going to get an answer to what the tech space is and how it is that you can navigate, your path in the tech space. So as I was saying about the agenda for today, we're going to have an opening address from Blessing Ashi, and then a welcome remark from our executive director in person of Januaryr Edition. And then very shortly, we'll play the Women Techsters Fellowship video, a couple of videos. These videos are very interesting video, and I want to encourage you to watch it. Pay attention to the details, pay attention to the story. It's important because most of you will be able to relate to that story, and most of you will be able to draw inspiration as to how your lives can change from making just one single decision. And then next, we'll be reading out the bios of the speakers that we have on the call today. We'll be reading out their bios, you get to meet them, and then we'll dive straight into the fireside chat. So the fireside chat is that session where you get to get their stories. They get to tell you how it is they got started in tech, what the challenges have been, how they navigated the challenges, the decisions they made, and how they got to the place that they are. We have phenomenal women on the call. I know we are going to read their bio, but let me just give you, a tip of the iceberg. We have Natasha Anderson. Natasha has been in the tech space for over 2 decades. Yes, over 2 decades. So that should start ringing a bell. Like, you should start asking questions. How, she has been in tech space even before people started knowing what tech is and before the buzz around the tech space. And she's the head of software engineering at Old Mutual Limited. She's from South Africa, and she'll be sharing her story. We also have Adora Nwundu. She's a software engineer at Microsoft. I'm sure that most Nigerians on the call are familiar with Adora. Yes, Adora is going to be sharing her story on the call today, and you're going to learn a lot of things from her. And then we have an amazing woman from Ghana, Nana Anim. She's a product manager at GameX Labs. She's also going to be sharing her amazing story in the tech space. And then we have Elizabeth Ajao, a product manager at Enyata, who will be moderating this session with this amazing women. Okay, so just after the fireside chat, you'll be allowed to ask your questions. I've asked you to drop your expectations, and maybe in the course of the fireside chat, you would have questions that you want answers to. You would have that space to do that. And you can also utilize the Q&A tab to ask your questions. If you look through your Zoom features, if you look at the features and the buttons on it, you'll see the Q&A tab right there. You can ask your questions using the Q&A tab, just so that the speakers get to see it and they get to give you answers. And then we'll talk about our program activities here at the Women Techsters Initiative. What are the program activities? Which of the programs do you fit in? You're going to, have you have an understanding of all those programs and how you can apply and what to do and what not to do. And then we'll have our announcement, our closing remarks. So there you have it. So I'll just read a few expectations and then I'll hand over to Blessing Ashi to take the opening remark. So somebody says, I'm new to the tech world. Chukwemeka says, I'm new to the tech world and I want to leave this space with more understanding about this program. Awesome. You definitely get that from the event today. Benedicta says, I would love to know the criteria to get accepted for the tech bootcamp I have been applying. Okay, we'll see how we can answer that question. And we'll also refer you to resources online that we put out to help people, when it comes to applying for our programs here at Tech for Them under the Women Techsters Initiative. Somebody says, I want to know how to navigate my way in the tech space. So definitely get an answer to that. And Cynthia Gideon says, I'm transitioning into tech. So I'm looking forward to learning more about it in general and what this program is about. I'm especially interested to know the impact I can make to the world through tech. I love the fact that you're already passionate about the impact that tech is able to, allow you to give to the world. And it's exciting to see that. Miracle says, good evening. I know that tech is taking over the world, and I'm really interested in learning and making my way in the tech space. It's amazing to see that you have that knowledge, Miracle. So stay tuned, you get an answer to that question also. So right about now, I'm going to be handing over to Blessing Ashi. Hi, Blessing, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. Hi, Toyin. Good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, everybody from Nigeria. Good evening from whatever part of the country or part of the world you are joining us from. It's so exciting to be here again today. This is the first open day for the year 2023. I mean, it's amazing. Last year, we had amazing sessions where we had women who are experts in different fields, join us. This year, we are set to do again to be stronger and better. My name is Blessing Ashi. I'm the Women Techsters Programs Lead, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the Women Techsters Open Day for the 2023 January edition. I'm sure you all have your expectations. I was hearing to read out some people's expectations, and I'm really excited that you are taking this step, and everyone on the team as well. We're also excited that you're taking this step as well. There's a famous quote by a renowned person that says you can't expect to keep doing the same thing and you can't expect to get a different result if you keep the same thing you have been doing. So for some of us, or for some people, you always have an expectation to get a different result. You can get high-paying jobs or learn a different skill, like be skilled at something, but you've not taken the first step yet. Well, for everyone who is here, I would say that reverse is the case, because for you to have attended, signed up and attended this open day, it means that you're set to do something great for yourself in 2023. You not only have a vision, but you're already rolling out plans to seeing how your vision is accomplished. In case you're asking, what do I mean? You probably have been thinking about getting into tech, or chatting a client, and you're stuck. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to go about it. You're concerned that some of the programs out there are very expensive and you can't afford it at this time. You're also worried about having programs that do not really cater for you, or is not bothered about how you learn or how you are able to manage the time that you have. Trust me, the Women Techsters Initiative is a different program. Let me walk you through for some few minutes. The Women Techsters program is an experiential training program that gives women within the ages of 16 to 40 years an opportunity to learn a tech skill. Presently, we have 8 learning tracks that we are focused in. That's product design, product management, software development, data science, cybersecurity, blockchain, 3D, and mobile application. And we have 5 initiatives under the Women Techsters program that allows us to be able to reach out to different set of people. The Women Techsters Open Day is one of such. It's an advocacy drive that allows us to be able to reach people who need information on tech, how to go about it, how to get started, how resources that you can get, and then you can get further instructions as to the programs that you can apply for on the Women Techsters Initiative. So trust me, it's an amazing year, and it's a good way to start the year. I'm super excited as well. I'm super excited again, because whilst the year is starting, we are wrapping up the Women Techsters class of 2022, class of 2023, I beg your pardon, fellowship program. And I'm super charged up because the planning for the fellowship for class of 2024 has started. If you are not new to Tech for Dev, you know that the fellowship is something you always look forward to. It's a very, very, very competitive process. And so we are very excited to plan again for the fellowship. And even for the boot camp as well, we're excited to see how women who have come into the program with no knowledge, no technical skill knowledge, and they end up completing the 3 weeks program. And some people have gone as far as landing themselves in jobs. It's amazing. So once again, for the last time, I'd like to welcome you to the open day rather. This is the January edition, and trust me, you are in for a smooth ride. I usually like to say this: for you to be able to participate fully in this session today, ensure that you have stable internet, ensure that you have your writing materials, it could be your mobile device or have like a physical writing material. Ensure that you have your mind as well in place. You're not distracted. You are open to learning. If you have any questions, use the chat box to write your questions. Trust me, this is one session you'll be glad that you attended today. So I don't intend to take a lot of your time. I want to believe that you're ready. I'm ready. And I also want to believe that you're ready. I'm sure Tony is ready as well. I want to believe that you're also ready for the session. So ladies, join me on this ride as we explore, as we learn, as we, you know, when they say you have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So as we learn, unlearn, and as we relearn, welcome to the opening day for January 2023 edition. Can everybody? Okay. All right, so at this point, please pardon me if there's any network glitch. I mean, it's going to get better. At this point, allow me, it's always a great privilege to do this. Always an amazing privilege to do this. And I'm really excited that I am doing this again. I want to welcome with essential, the amazing personality behind the amazing work we do at Tech for Dev. I would like to welcome our Executive Director at Tech for Dev, person of Januaryr Edition. She is a woman of plenty of strength. She's a woman of, trust me, if you think the Women Techsters initiative is amazing, one of the amazing person behind it is the amazing woman in front of you. So trust me, there's a lot to learn. If you have not followed her on LinkedIn, please do so. So let me just allow Deborah to continue. Hi, Deborah. It's good to have you join us today.
Hi, Blessing. It's always, I think that maybe perhaps we need to switch the order of, doing this. Because every time when you go, the quitting session, I'm like, okay, what is she really talking about? But thank you, Blessing. It's always such a pleasure to be here. Hi, ladies. Welcome, everyone. I'm super excited. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice always, to welcome everyone today. My hope is not too late to say a Happy New Year to everyone. I know today's January 26th. It's like 26 days since the year started, but I know that it's not too late to wish everyone a Happy New Year. And I want to say a huge thank you for joining the January 2023 edition of our virtual Women Techsters Open Day program. And of course, this is the very first Open Day program in 2023. We're super excited and are so elated to have all you wonderful women. I see people from Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, and amongst the other countries that are here, all you wonderful women from just across Africa join us today to learn about how to pursue your interest in technology. I would especially like to welcome all of you as prospective women techsters who have joined us today to learn about starting a career in tech through our Open Day program. So in my usual style, for people who know me well, I love to use this avenue to give updates on the progress we've made through our Women Techsters sub-program, some of which Blessing had introduced earlier. So earlier this month, which was like a few weeks ago, we kickstarted applications for our Women Techsters Bootcamp 2.5, where we had over 4,200 applications from across 15 African countries and more. And after a rigorous screening process, we will be admitting 2,149 women. I don't know if they've been told yet, but I'm saying this out there, that we'll be admitting 2,149 women into the Bootcamp 2.5 class. We're really super excited that we have these women who have used the opportunity for the Bootcamp 2.5 application to kickstart their careers in technology. I'd like to take some of us down memory lane for people who have been actively following Tech for Dev and just juggle our memories a bit about our fellowship program, which Blessing also spoke about earlier. On the 1st of August, 2022, which was last year, our Women Techsters Fellowship Class of 2023 kickstarted a 2-week orientation program. And in that program, we had over 1,200 fellows from across 15 African countries. These African countries are Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Egypt, South Africa, DR Congo, Algeria, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Mozambique, Madagascar, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, and Tanzania. I hope I counted them all correctly. And these women were exposed to 54 amazing, awesome speakers who shared insights around how the fellows could brace themselves for the one-year learning journey and what to expect from the fellowship. And just to give a bit of an additional insight, all our programs within Women Techsters and within Tech for Them are absolutely free, tuition free. So for the fellowship program, classes started on the 15th of August 2022 across the following learning tracks: software development, blockchain, product design, product management, mobile development, 3D animation and mixed reality, cybersecurity, data science, and artificial intelligence. And you know the most amazing thing, in 3 weeks' time, 999 fellows from that class are going to be writing their final exams after 5 months. And they're also going to be working on their capstone project. They're getting ready for career week and their graduation. You know what amazes me the most is that these women, their mothers, their daughters, their wives, their students, their workers, all of them have persevered over the last 5 months, juggling life and the Women Techsters Fellowship. And I can assure you, juggling life and the Women Techsters Fellowship is not the easiest of things to do. And they are striving to become a better version of themselves and a force to be reckoned with in the technology space. We have women like Simen, who lives in an IDP camp in war-torn northern Ethiopia, who struggles to get internet connectivity on a daily basis with her almost falling apart laptop. But she shows up in class every single day because she believes that technology is a pathway to improve her economic status. We have stories of women like Jacinta, whose family was uprooted and forced out of the northeastern part of Nigeria due to crisis, and her family lost their livelihood. She embarked on the Women Techsters journey with the hope that the knowledge of technology would help her and her family regain what they've lost. The stories of these women give us so much strength and the zeal to continue the work that we do. Women Techsters is made possible through our organization, Tech for Dev. Tech for Dev is a non-profit organization that creates access to decent work and entrepreneurship opportunities and platforms for Africans through digital and technology skills empowerment and advocacy. Our vision is to equip Africans with digital and life skills that foster economic prosperity, financial freedom, and sustainable development. Women Techsters aims to bridge the digital divide between men and women in the technology ecosystem. Through our pilot program, Nigerian Women Techsters, we enabled almost 3,000 women between the ages of 16 to 40 across Nigeria over a 3-year period. This was between 2016 to 2019. And we did this to ignite interest in pursuing careers and businesses in technology. Driven by the success stories of numerous women from the Nigerian Women Techsters program, Fatima, whose video you probably be watching sometime soon, I hope it's one of the videos that's going to be shown today, told me, Patience, we carved a new ambition. And that ambition birthed a dream to replicate this model across Africa, providing more women access to opportunities to launch careers and businesses in technology. Our grand dream is that by 2030, we would have reached 5 million women in Africa, empowering them with the knowledge and skills to partake in the technology industry in Africa and across the world. We believe that empowering change for women across Africa, as well as providing them opportunities to access employment and entrepreneurship, will help achieve a 50-50 male to female ratio balance in the technology space. Our Women Techsters Open Day, which is the program all of you are here for today, is a monthly virtual program which we organize for women across Africa to learn about leveraging the power of technology to start and advance their careers, and also create technology and technology-enabled businesses. The Open Day is an opportunity for women to interact with other successful women, of course, who you have already probably met through our flyers and who are going to be speaking today, who have built careers or businesses in technology over the years, and who will share their personal experiences, speak about possible career paths and business opportunities, and help women appreciate the importance of acquiring digital and deep tech skills in this digital age. I would definitely not end it without appreciating our most amazing partners, Microsoft, Islamic Development Bank, and the Central Bank of Egypt, for collaborating with us to bring this initiative to life in this program year. And we look forward to continually impact and improve the economic realities of women across Africa. I would like to say a big thank you again and appreciate every single person who is here today as you commence your journey in becoming women in tech. And I'd like to say a very special thank you to our guest speakers, Natasha, Adora, and Nana, and our wonderful moderator, Elizabeth, for taking time out of your very busy schedules. And trust me, these women are very busy. I'm sure that by the time they roll off their profiles, you would understand how busy they are and how they found time in that very tight schedule to be here today. Thank you so much to our guest speakers. Thank you so much, our moderator. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Adora. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for wanting to be a part of this and share the story of your journey as women in tech. I look forward to a very wonderful conversation. I will be in the background just listening to the conversation. And I say a big thank you to everyone once again. And I look forward to the most amazing conversation to happen here today. Over to you, Blessing.
Thank you so much, Januaryr, for the opening remarks. I'm sure everyone understands why I call our ED quintessential, because she's indeed quintessential. Thank you so much, Januaryr, once again. All right, ladies, so we'll be moving on to the next on the list. We'll be playing a video. While Januaryr was giving her opening remarks, she had mentioned that about the Nigeria Women Techsters program that we had, the first ever one. She mentioned the story of Fatima, who went through the program and how technology has transformed and changed their life and our means of livelihood as well. So please sit back with me and enjoy the video of Fatima. So the next video you'll be watching will be that of Fatima. I think the digital media team, they're ready to play.
My name is Fatima Ahmed. I'm from Ilorin, Kwara State. I studied chemistry from the University of Ilorin, but now I'm a woman in tech. Getting a job in Nigeria is very difficult. After my National Youth Service program, I was at home for like 5 to 6 months, writing CVs, applying for jobs, and the highest I got was callbacks, which was very frustrating. I was talking to a friend about the difficulties of getting a job in Nigeria, and he was telling me about the opportunities in tech. Coincidentally, at that time, another friend of mine was telling me about how she went to the Nigeria Women Techsters program, where she learned how to code and build websites. Seeing what she could do, I was motivated to apply for the Nigeria Women Techsters program. The training was for 12 weeks. I learned technical skills, building websites, writing codes. I also learned soft skills, communicating effectively, working in teams. It made me more effective in what I do today. Coming for the training, I just felt that, okay, I'll just learn some new skills, then have to go back home to apply for other jobs. But during the training, I started getting a lot of job opportunities, and here I am today. I have a good job, and I am glad I took the bold step to come for the Nigeria Women Techsters training. I currently work as a technical support engineer at Tech Experts, where I provide cloud-based solutions. I want to use this opportunity to encourage other young women out there who are looking for jobs to empower themselves with tech skills and take advantage of opportunities like this.
With partners like Microsoft, we've been able to train over 2,475 women in coding and deep tech skills across 12 states in Nigeria. And all this training was done for free. Over the next 10 years, we will train 5 million women across Africa by 2030. And we're looking for partners who could join us on this journey.
All right, so we'll be playing another video. The video is that of the meet and greet for the class of 2022 Women Techsters Fellowship. This video is very, very key to us because it's, during the meet and greet, we're able to meet with everyone who had gone through the Women Techsters Fellowship for the class of 2022. So please sit back and also enjoy this video. If you have any question, please leave your question in the chat box. I can already see that some people can relate to Fatima's story, so you can see you're in the right place. I don't know if the team is ready to play the video. Here. Thank you, team. Okay, so while we're waiting for them to get the video ready, I think we'll just move right into the session today. I can already see that there are a lot of questions in the comment section. Please note that we'll be happy to take all of your questions. And I'm really glad that a lot of us are motivated by Fatima's story. So let's get right into why we are here today. We're here to learn, we're here to unlearn, we're here to learn. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of the speakers for today's open day session. So I'll be reading their bios, and I want to believe that you'll be interacting with them once we're done reading their bios. So first on the list is, or rather in no particular order, I'll be reading out the bio of Natasha Anderson. Natasha Anderson is a dreamer and an optimist, beaten by the testing bug almost 2 decades ago. This then aspiring software engineer navigated her career into the then little known waters of software testing, guided by her compulsion to leave everything she touches a little better than she found it, and her love to break things apart just to understand how it works. Her youthful curiosity led her to completing a BSc majoring in computer science. However, once she discovered her nexus, she went on to pursue ISTBQB and leadership certifications. She strongly believes that knowledge is power, and apart from continuously self-learning, she seeks opportunities to share this message. She's an avid supporter of being part of the change you want to see in this world, more importantly in our country. Natasha volunteers wherever she can. Her career has seen her take on various roles. She's taken roles of a tester, a trainer, a senior manager, and a capability lead. In her current role as the head of software engineering, Natasha enables DevOps and SRE practice. She's always applying herself to create efficiencies, shift the perception of testers, and raise the bar of what is possible in her field. Natasha considers a superpower to be her energy and her ability to inspire others to unlock the best in themselves while she rolls up her sleeves and gets to work with the rest of her team. Hello, Natasha. It's so good to have you join us. All right, next is Adora Nwodo. Moment. Okay, just trying to ensure that you can hear me. Natasha, if you don't mind, can you turn on your videos? I think the ladies are eager and excited to see you. Hi, Natasha. Hello, Natasha.
Hi, everyone. Hi, future leaders.
Hi. Okay, so I'll just go right ahead to introduce other ladies. Next is Adora Nwodo. Adora Nwodo is a multi-award-winning software engineer based in Lagos, Nigeria. She currently works at Microsoft, where she builds mixed reality on the cloud. She's also the vice president of the Nigerian chapter of VR-AAR Association. Her work there involved creating more awareness for virtual and augmented reality technologies. Adora is the author of the popular book, Cloud Engineering for Beginners. This book is currently helping a lot of people start their careers as cloud engineers. Adora spends a lot of her time on Twitter and LinkedIn sharing about her experience as a woman in tech. She's currently passionate about developers community in Nigeria and is trying to drive inclusion for women in tech. She co-organizes community events for Unstack Africa, contributes to open source, and speaks at technology conference worldwide. Ladies, let's welcome Adora Nwodo this evening. Hi, Adora. Hello, Adora. Would you mind turning on your video? I think the ladies are really excited to see your face. Okay.
But I'm just going to say hi, everyone. It's nice to be here today.
All right, thank you so much. Next is Nana. Nana is a product manager with experience in cloud computing. Nana is a product manager with experience in cloud computing. She has extensive experience in collaborating with cross-functional teams in building sustainable products that meet customer specifications. Nana loves finding problems and working on solving them. She also loves to engage our customers to effectively understand their pain points and issues and effectively build products that meet their needs. Nana strongly believes that empathy is a great foundation on which any successful product is built. She implements her analytical, creative, communication, and team working skills to develop products while working with stakeholders and other team members from other disciplines. Hi, Nana. It's so good to have you. Hi, Nana. Would you mind also turning on your video? Okay, so before we go ahead to introduce the speaker, I got an information that the video is ready. So I would like us to watch the video, after which we'll go back to introducing our amazing moderator for today. Okay, so digital team, if you're ready, I'm ready as well. Thank you. Okay, so sorry that so you don't seem to, you're not hearing what is being played. We would fix that shortly. Whilst we are at it, I think we can, I think we'll fix that shortly. While we're at it, I will just go ahead and introduce our moderator for the session for today. Okay, so our moderator for today is Elizabeth Ajao. Elizabeth Ajao is a seasoned, please give me a moment. Okay, Elizabeth Ajao is a seasoned product manager with over 2 years of experience. She has seen products through from ideation to launch, as well as managing launched products. In her current role at Enyata, she manages products in their development phase. She also works with the development team to build and launch products. When Elizabeth is not managing products, you find her either writing or supporting product managers in the product community she belongs. All right, ladies, let's welcome Elizabeth as well. Okay, so I don't know if we're ready to play the video or we can just move ahead with the session. Okay, so Elizabeth, hi, over to you. And ladies, I'm sure you're ready for the session. Elizabeth, over to you.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. When Ora told me about this, from the very first day I've been excited, so the excitement still remains. All right, so let's get to it. So this is the fireside chat for the Open Day event. And when I first heard the word Open Day, went back. I went back in like memory to school where you have an event, your parents will come for the Open Day and everybody comes to see your results, see your notes. That's like the judgment day back in school. But yeah, the Women Techsters Open Day event is an event with what I have seen for women and men alike to come and learn from other people, experts in tech. So I think if you ask me, that is such a great thing to have. So thank you again for the honor to moderate this session. So yes, like Blessing has said, we have we have experts in this panel session, and trust me when I say experts, people that have done this tech thing for 5 years, 10 years. I tell my friends that almost do I really want to keep working 5 years from now? So it's an amazing thing to see people doing, this thing, showing up every day. And I'm sure they have a lot of things ready for us and insights to share with us. All right, so we'll just go into the fireside chat straight away. We have Natasha. Natasha is the head of software engineering. So it's nice to have you here, Natasha.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Natasha. All right, thank you. We have Adora. Adora is a tech superstar. That's what I would refer to as. I've known her for like 2 years. She doesn't know me, but I know her very well. And she has been doing amazing so far for the tech community in Nigeria. Hi, Adora. Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Yeah, so we also have Nana. Yeah, Nana is, I'll say, my colleague in the industry. She's also a product manager. And, people that are here that have product questions, Nana is here to respond to your questions or to give you insights. So I'm sure you're going to have an amazing time. So I'll be starting from Natasha. So I'll be taking questions. I'll be asking. So the focus of this session is to get insights to the background of our speakers, how they have evolved in their tech journeys, why they even started out in tech. Like, what's the motivation? If you ask me, my motivation for being in tech is the money. But I mean, for some other people, it's the passion, it's the, it's the grit, it is the results that they get. So different people have different motivations, how they even started. So you are coming here to listen to the stories of people that have worked, they've worked, and you don't have to make some mistakes anymore because now you can actually learn from their experience. All right, so I'll be starting from Natasha. So my first question, just a moment. All right, so my first question to you, Natasha, you've from what the hosts I've also read about from your bio, you're a computer science graduate, right? And I can imagine the times where you studied computer science, it was at a time where those courses were not really predominant for females. The STEM courses, in fact, it's sometimes strongly advised against. Are you sure you want to study computer science? Is it not too hard? Is it not too difficult? Can you actually cope? Can you survive?
Are you there with me?
Don't you want to go for something less stressful and demanding? So how were you able to stand your ground, right? Coming from that background and knowing that, oh, this is what I want and I want to go for it. How were you able to, maintain that balance and going for what you want to? Yeah, let's hear from you.
All right. Yeah. So let me tell you, ladies, the world of tech back then wasn't what it was like, well, wasn't like what it is now, right? The modem used to give you that dialing signal. There was no Wi-Fi. And when that came along, that was years after I actually started a school with computer science. So growing up in South Africa in the tail end of apartheid, the schooling system was government. The facilities were what it was. I grew up, I just, in sharing my background, my dad is a security guard, and that's what he retired as when he finished, when he retired now. My mom worked in admin, so there was not much money for basic things, let alone for tech things, which was now seen as gadgets and gizmos and nice to haves. And so back then, the first thing was I didn't have my own PC at home. I was actually telling someone the story not so long ago. I used to write my code on a piece of paper. I'd write down my pseudocode, I'd write down my code, and I'd go to my friend's house. I'd walk 20 minutes. I'd type before it gets dark. I need to walk back home, and on the floppy disk, we're using Pascal back then, make sure it compiled. And then I take that to school in the morning. And so just thinking back to what it was like, just the facilities around me. You guys have so much more at your disposal right now, and I just hope that you use it for everything that it's worth. The other thing that that I must say, you said it, Elizabeth, people would tell you things like, don't you want to go study something easy? Don't you want to go and rather do something, it's expensive. Are you sure you want to do this? And deep down, when I started, it was starting to say, so what's that, grade 8, right? And I got into this classroom and we started with this program called Basic. It was a black screen with a little turtle icon that you go forward, go side, and you draw like a little screen. And I went, what is this? This is fun and this is exciting. And this seems easy and people are paying people to do this. I want to do this. I want to do something easy that's going to get me paid a lot of money. And so I started with it. And so by the time matric came around and I needed to choose my courses, it was exactly that narrative. It's tough, and it was tough. But then I also realized that the thing that was also different, and I share this with you in the hopes that, go out there and look for these things, use your access. The other thing that was not there is that we didn't have this connected world. I couldn't go to a LinkedIn and find someone that was doing what I want to do. I didn't have people to talk to that, what is this computer science? It was like this foreign thing. I felt like a foreign thing in my own family circles. But yeah, it was what it was. I will say to you that growing up in the community I did, there was a definite, a really strong love and appreciation for math and science. And so because I grew up in that you got to do good at math and science, it was never, I guess it formed the basis for everything I did. And then just the last thing that I want to say, there's strong women around us, hey? And like my grandmother was just the strongest of them all. And so if there was anything that pushed me forward to do things that was not traditional, it was just linking into her energy and having her give me that drive to say, you know what, you can do this. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Go figure out your own way.
Wow. This is such a great story. I think the highlight of your story is that you went for the art stuff, right? I think that takes a lot of courage and grit and resilience. So well done. For the audience, one other thing that Natasha mentioned that is very important is right now in this day and age, you have a lot of resources at your disposal. A lot. In fact, if you decide not to get into tech, you are to be blamed because now you actually, like, life has been made easier for you. Look at what the Women Techsters, the Tech for Dev initiative is about, bringing people to talk to you about their journeys, making you learn from other people's journey. Trust me, this is a gold mine. It is something you're supposed to pay for, but it's accessible to you and you can use it. So the problem now is not that there is no information. The problem now will be the information you have that you're not using. So just the word, use the information you have. All right, thank you, Natasha. So we'll be taking Adora next. Quite a similar question, but for Adora, I see that you're a very, very diversified lady. You've done a lot of things, from writing a book to working, finding your way in tech, and that must have taken a lot for you to achieve. So can you share? I see the passion you have for technology. It reflects in how you approach your work, your community, getting people to also learn from you and come to tech. So can you share how your journey started? Let's just like a bit of background to your journey in tech, how it started and how you were able to navigate your way to this point.
Okay, so this is my journey story. At this point, I think I should just record it and play it everywhere because I feel like I've told it so many times. And it's a nice story, but it's also a very long story. So I'll try to summarize it as much as I can. So this is a very, very, very abridged version of
all right,
this. So when I was like really young, I started sorry, one sec. When I was really young, I used to like, I mean, I'm the last born of my family and I'm the only girl. Right.
Wow.
So when I was really young, my brothers were like my best friends or whatever. We used to play together all the time. Rough play, football, ride bicycle, play with sand, all these things, Sha, that you do as a child. And like and then one day my dad comes back home with a computer and he's like, oh, he heard from his colleagues at work that tech is about to be, that's, he wants his children to be computer literate because the world is going in that direction. And I'm like, and then he's like, okay, I've got this computer and I'm sending my sons to computer school. Go to computer school, go and learn. I'm also buying you this computer so that whatever you learn from school, you come and practice in the house. That was nice. But one thing it did was that it made my brothers leave me. So they stopped playing with me and they started playing with their computer. So obviously, if the mountain doesn't come to Mohammed, excuse me, I'm going to go to that mountain. So I went to my brothers and I'm like, you people need to teach me how to play with this thing I'm playing with, since you don't want to play with me again. And it's funny how now I'm the only one in a tech-related career. Like they're all doing like different things. Wow. Even if they were the ones that got the computers first. But now it's like I'm the tech person in the house. It's quite interesting. But they taught me how to use the computers. I loved it. They got me my first email. I got into social media very early. I had all the things, Yahoo Messenger, High Five, MySpace. I used to use LimeWire for music. I like that whole era, I was in it very much. And obviously, since I was exposed to that generation of the internet, I stumbled on programming as well. And that's how I started writing code in Visual Basic at the time, secondary school, late primary school. And from there, it just became a thing where I was very conscious about my programming career. I wanted to be a programmer. I didn't even know that there was a computer science degree, but I knew that people could get certified to be programmers. So in my head, because I liked math, what I wanted to do was go to university, study math, and then go and get one of all these programming certifications and just be a programmer. Because it was fun. And I liked the fact that I was building stuff. At that time, the tech we know now isn't what tech was. Right? You know how everyone is coming into tech now because there are opportunities and, it can change your life and blah. At that time, I just really wanted to do something that I considered interesting, right? For me, that was pretty much it. And that was what it was. I finally learned about computer science as a career, as like a course you could study in school, because I think this is one thing that having good advice around you and good mentoring, wise counsel does for you. Because if I had gone on my own, I might have I won't say made a bad decision, but I might have not made the best decision, because I had gone to study math and learn to code, which obviously would have meant my life would have turned out in different ways, because the people that I had met along my computer science degree, when I was trying to get my computer science career, are very pivotal in my growth in my career today. So if I had gone that math route, I wouldn't have met them, right? And I might not be here. I might be here. It might have taken me a longer time to get here. Who knows? But I don't think I want to find out. Either way, wise counsel. Someone told me, one of my brother's friends, I was in MIT at the time. He told me that, you want to study computer science, and you want to program, and go and study computer science. Now there's maths inside, since you're shouting at everybody, I want to do maths by force. So that's how, I read about computer science and I realized that, okay, there's actually a balance here and I could do this, right? So I did that. I followed the traditional route into this path. I didn't transition. I didn't stumble upon it by mistake. I knew exactly what I wanted since I was like a child. And I took all the classes, took all the courses, got the degree, got the first job. Microsoft is not the first place I worked at. I worked at a digital agency as a software engineer for 3 years before I joined Microsoft. I was an intern for some of those 3 years. And then I was like a full-time employee. I was an intern for a year. And then Abby, a year and a half thereabouts. So, and then I was a full-time employee for like the rest of the time before I left. And then like I got the Microsoft offer and I left. So yeah, and I joined Microsoft. It's 3 years now. It's gonna be 4 years in August. So I've been there a while. I hope I don't start growing baby.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I've been there a bit. Let me not say wow. I've been there a bit. It's been nice.
It's a long time. It's not a bit. it's a while,
yeah,
actually.
I tried to give the really abridged version of this because anytime I'm a very good storyteller, yeah, and I know how to give sweet hot gist. But the thing is, if I start to give this gist, the other panelists are not going to talk today. I've given the abridged version of this story, but I hope it's enough. But yeah, that's the summary of how I got into this path.
Yes, very, very enough. Thank you so much, Adora. Your story was very interesting to listen to. I didn't want you to stop talking, but like you said, we need to also hear from other panelists. So yes, I think it was very important to hear that because a lot of times in this day and age we hear, oh, come to tech, come do this in tech. But I think people also like are not emphasizing how tech is also a professional field, right? It is what people go to school to learn. It is what people go to school to study. And I also particularly like that, from your story, we see that you don't just get there overnight. So there is a process, there is a time for you to labor, there's a time for you to work, and there's a time for you to reap as well. I mean, all the monies and the dollars, you will make it, but you can't just come to tech and then expect that you start that way. So thank you so much, Adora. So we're going to be taking Nana next. Nana, like I said, she's also a product manager like me. But yes, from your background, I see that you're a political science, or you studied political sciences in school, and it's just interesting because political science, product management, there is really no link. So I think your journey is going to be an interesting one for us to hear. So how did you navigate your path from being a political scientist to being a product manager? What prompted the move? How did you find your way? How did you, unlike Adora, that it was like that from the onset. She studied computer science. So she was already in the space. She was already in tech. But in your case, it's different. And I think that's also like challenging because you had to do something you were not used to. So how were you able to, manage that process and move accordingly? So over to you, Nana.
Hi, everyone, and I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, hi, Nana. I can hear you.
Great. So thank you for the opportunity. For me, my story is quite interesting. I had always wanted to do tech. I mean, I wanted to get into tech, but I think unlike Adora, I was scared of maths and I was scared of calculation and all. So I decided that, okay, I would do something that was comfortable with, that was political science. And then I went on to do like international affairs for my master's. But then during the pandemic, that's when everything changed for me because, everybody, the world was like at a standstill, everybody was locked down, so I decided to take that bold step. I mean, get the fear out of my head that I won't be able to do it. And then I got started with the AWS cloud computing program. So that was my first interaction in tech. I remember that was 19th October, 2020. Yeah. And on that day, I mean, before I entered the virtual class, about 30 people, I was scared because at that time I was still I was still doing my master's at that time. And then I was going to start something I'd never done before. And mind you, I was in class with people that were also engineering students and all. But then one thing that I did was to find people in the class that knew better than me to learn from. And then I put it in my head that, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to learn this tech, get into it. So I got started with cloud computing. It took a lot of work, a lot of discipline because I had to stay up at night. I had to speak to people. I had to find mentors. There were a lot of things that I had to do than the average person who knew IT would do because I'm new. Like I literally know nothing about cloud computing. Then I got certified as a cloud practitioner. And then lo and behold, right after I got an internship opportunity, I was like, okay, I mean, hard work pays, right? So I right after I didn't have to apply for that. I think maybe it was through my hard work and how I was always asking questions. I just wanted to know, so I was given the opportunity to intern. And then after that, I was able to become a cloud trainer. And then I became a cloud engineer. And then I moved into products. So my journey in tech has been a lot of things. It's been hard work. It's been nights of wanting to give up, wanting like thinking that this whole tech stuff is not for me. But yeah, that's my journey. So from international affairs to products. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was such, a beautiful journey going from cloud computing to products, from political science to cloud computing. And I think you have like such a great blend because you are like experienced engineering and now you're in products. So that's like a soft, sweet spot, if you ask me. So I'm going to like throw another question to you. So moving from cloud computing to products, what inspired that? What made you like decide to make that move? It's still in tech, but that's department move. And the follow-up question I have to that is just tell us, like, you can list it like 3 factors that you think everyone should pay attention to when considering a career in tech.
Sorry, I missed the last question. Could you come to the last question?
Yeah, you can mention like 3 factors that anyone should consider when they are considering a career in tech. Like, because you transitioned, right? So it means that you were not in tech before and then you got into tech. So there might be questions around, okay, what should people actually look out for since you worked with the paths before? So you can just share on that.
Okay, so moving from cloud computing into product management, because I realized and I know that I love to build products. I love to be part of the building solutions for problems. For my product management, I'm more on the technical side because I believe that having a good architecture for your product for your customers to use is as important as just trying to face the customers and just do what you want to do, right? So I would say I'm not completely off the cloud computing, but then I'm leveraging on that skill to help build applications or products for our customers in my company. So it's more of the technical product management side. Yeah. And for anybody that's trying to make a career change, I think the first thing is that you need to consider or you need to have in mind is research on what you want to do. Is this something you really want to do? Because sometimes you feel like everyone is saying it's the norm, tech is moving. For me, I wanted to move into tech, but I was scared, right? But then I made a move during the pandemic. So just get to know if it's really what you want to do, or because you feel like, yeah, you're going to have like a lot of money. Yeah, of course, it's fast. I mean, yeah, tech is nice because you get paid well, but then have the discipline that you need to put in more effort than anybody else is doing. You have to go the extra mile. You can't just do it like somebody who is in tech, who has been in tech for a very long time, right? So have a discipline, do your research, know what you want to do. Yeah, and find a community. Finding mentors and communities help you to transition. Yeah.
Yeah, these are very, very important points and things to look at. Thank you so much, Nana. So I'll be moving to Adora now. Adora, you're a software engineer, and software engineering is no work in the park. I've tried coding before and I ran. I knew that no, I couldn't do this. So definitely there have been challenges, or if there have not been, you can tell us. But I believe there must have been challenges, and also want to hear from you, what challenges did you face and what were your major milestones? Because one thing about challenges is as you're facing one and you're meeting a milestone, you get gingered again to want to continue. So what milestones did you meet that made you say, oh, okay, I think I can push further, with the challenges I have. I shouldn't relent right now. So yeah, it's a two-part question, telling us your challenges and also the milestones that you got along the line. That's to Adora.
The challenges I've faced, a couple challenges, to be honest. Some around my soft skills, some around my skills as well. I remember when I tried to start learning programming, I know that it was difficult. I went through a lot, trying to find the perfect tool to help me learn. And that's one thing, like, I'm going to tell people, if something isn't working for you, don't do it because everyone is doing it, right? If you've tried this particular camp that many people are doing, and it's just not your vibe, don't stay there when you know fully well that the pattern or the flow of how things work there isn't your vibe, just because everyone is currently there. There are a couple of things I had tried at that time. And I was trying to learn Java, right? Because when I entered uni, it's like, okay, I've been doing this VS Code for a while. I know how to build calculator desktop apps. And I say VS Code, VB.NET, Visual Basic. And Visual Basic is very easy to use, let's be honest. But Java Spring, my goodness. I don't want to talk about it. Gave me nightmares. And I remember I tried learning Java and I was like, learning Java with building like Java GUIs, like graphical user interfaces, wasn't just cutting it for me. And so I had conversations with people. Again, people around you. It's good to have people that have sense around you, because when you have foolish people around you, they'll give you advice. Right. Someone told me that, try to learn Java with Android, because building for Android uses the Java programming language. So you learn a lot, since Java is the language that you want to learn. Right. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll try that. And then I went on Udacity and I found an Android nano degree at the time that was with Java. And, that was one challenge that I faced. And I got the nano degree, became an Android developer. So that was like my milestone, I guess. And then another challenge that I faced was funny. It's the reason I am on this call right now with all of you. I wanted to get an internship in 2016. And for people that don't know, I'm quite young. I don't know if I'm Gen Z or not, because sometimes you tell people, oh, I was born in 96, they'll be like, oh, you're a millennial. I'll say, oh, you are Gen. Some people will tell you are Gen Z. Some people tell you you're millennial. So people like us, we actually don't know what we are. We're in between, right? But for the sake of this story, I'm going to stick to the fact that I'm Gen Z, because it's Gen Z I was exhibiting at that interview. So I go to the interview, and I'm done with the interview. Like, I'm done talking to the COO and everything. I'm also done talking to the software developers. Like, they like me. COO even gives me his card. Like, oh, when you are ready, just send us, since you are just interviewing early because you want to be proactive. When you are ready to start, when it's time for your school to, give you people your letter or whatever, so that you can start, call me so that we will draft like the appointment letter for you and all of that. And as I was talking to him, the CEO comes into the office and he looks at me and he's like, oh, you're the intern, right? I'm like, yes, hi. And then he's like, oh, he now starts to ask me some questions. And I start to answer, boldly and everything. And the next thing, he tries to cut me off in the middle. And I'm like, wait, I'm not done now. Let me finish saying what I was saying. And apparently he didn't like that very much. So much so that he even went to tweet about me. I didn't know him, but one of the people that worked there screenshotted the tweet and sent it to me. And I was like, are you the one that he's talking about? I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm coming to work here after that. But I kept recounting that incident. I thought about it. I ended up working in another place, which was good for me, thank God, because working in that place is actually the reason why I got exposed to a bunch of opportunities that I got exposed to and why I'm here now. well, partially why I'm here now, because I'm here now because of another thing that also happened in that interview. So I continued recounting all the events, all the things that had happened. And because of that, I started feeling like, oh, maybe I should not be talking in public. Maybe I should not be talking in serious settings. Maybe I don't know how to talk to people. Maybe I'm actually disrespectful. So when people ask me a question in public, I'm mute. Even what is your name, I won't talk. I don't know whether it's cold feet, because I'm not a shy person. I don't know whether it's cold feet or whatever, but like I started freezing in serious conversation, in meetings. Even now that I think about it, that interview that the internship that I got, I don't even think I would have gotten it if it was an interview. I got it because it was an exam. We wrote code and we passed. If it was an interview, I'd have probably failed. Because at that time, I already had that issue of not being able to be outspoken anymore because of that thing that had happened to me. And that cost me, because I interviewed with Google London and Google London or Google Poland, somewhere in Europe at this point. I don't remember which one actually. I don't remember, but it was Google in Europe, somewhere in Europe. I interviewed with them in 2018, and I banked the interview because they asked me a question, and what did I do? I wrote all the code on the Google Doc, and I said, Auntie, I finished. In those kinds of interviews, you're supposed to talk the interviewer through your thought process, why you are using data structure you are using, why, all of that. I did not want to talk because in my head, I didn't want to say the wrong thing. Before she'll be asking me a question now, I will say, hold up, I'm not done. So I just really wanted to type my code and show her that I was done. And obviously, you can't be doing that kind of thing with British people. So the next day I got my rejection, and it pained me so much because anyone that knows me very well would know that Google and Microsoft are places that I have always wanted to work at. Microsoft obviously topping that list. So it's Microsoft first, then Google. But like at the time, I didn't have any connections with any Microsoft recruiter, and I had known some Google recruiters because of some community work that I was doing while I was in school. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just, try that. That didn't work out so great, but that made me very intentional about getting myself to do the uncomfortable things. So because I failed that, I knew that I had a speaking problem. I knew that I had issues talking to people that I didn't know and talking in serious situations. So what did I do? I put myself in serious situations where I would have to talk, because it's like, pata. If I don't do it well, they will throw their shoe and they will throw tomato at me, but I won't die. So that's how I actually started doing public speaking, right? And that's how I started my YouTube channel as well. And public speaking and putting myself in front of a camera, talking by force and uploading it to the internet for people to see. If they want to insult me, they will insult me. Insult has not killed anybody. Doing those things made me, I didn't realize what was going on, what people were watching. And then that was actually how I attracted a Microsoft recruiter in that time. And all of that has played into me getting my opportunity at Microsoft, me growing in this space as a tech brand, so that, like I said, it's all connected. And that's even another reason why I am probably on this call right now. I don't know whether I should call this a milestone, because there are like 100 milestones in one, but that challenge, which was the internship interview that I fumbled at because of my outspokenness, birthed another challenge, which was me failing an interview because I now became too timid to even speak, which now forced me to do some work on myself and brought me here, essentially.
Yes, indeed, you are a very great storyteller. Thank you so much, Ada. Wow, this is amazing. I've learned a lot though, like being the moderator myself. You mentioned something about communities, right? How communities, because of your participation with communities and your involvement with them as well, opened up an opportunity or opportunities for you to interview at Google. So I think community, I think Nana also mentioned something about community, right? Community being an important ingredient if you want to start out your career. You can't do it alone. So I would like you to, you know, from your experience, just share with the audience communities you think they should be a part of, communities you think they should join in their careers. If you know anyone or if you have anyone you want to spotlight, you can do that now. That's for Ada. Ada, can you hear me?
Are you asking that I should recommend communities?
Yes. So recommending communities to people.
Okay. I know GDG, there are GDGs everywhere. You can start there. That's the Google developer groups. You can start there. Before, we used to have like, you know, meetup.com. If you go on meetup.com, you'll see like different communities that you can just be joining. And when they have events, you attend. But now nobody really uses meetup anymore, because that time there was 4Loop, there was Android Nigeria. There were like a lot of things going on. But like now, they don't exist anymore. So I would say your best bets, join any of the GDGs, follow key people on Twitter, follow someone like Sultan, obviously, follow key people on Twitter, and join something like She Code Africa as well, join the open source community, Oscar Africa, and, you know, join my study group as well. There's also that. Yeah, right now, there are a bunch of communities. There are more, if I'm being honest, but I can't think of them right now. And before, there used to be like one place where you would go, which is Meetup, that was like a community aggregator, for lack of a better word. Like that you would go and like you would just see the list of different communities and you can join. But now, nobody really uses Meetup anymore. So you can actually just Google communities to join in Nigeria. I know that people have written some articles on communities to join, and if you Google it might point you to those communities and how to get on their Slack and Discord. But apart from Googling, these ones that I mentioned are ones that I feel are helpful. You know, Oscar, She Code Africa, my study group, which is Adora Hack study group, and whatever GDG exists in your region.
Thank you so much, Adora. I think one thing I want to also add to that is, while you're doing your research, you could also look out for communities that are in the direct field you're in. So for example, if you're a product manager, you would want to look out for communities in products. If you're a product designer, you want to look out for specific communities. If you're a woman in tech, you want to look out for a women in tech community. But this community is more generic. So it's also important that as you're joining generic communities, you also streamline your search to the particular field you're into. So that's just a piece of advice. Thank you. So to Natasha, I've been looking at Natasha's beautiful faces, and it's been a good time. So Natasha, my question for you is, you know, you're the head of software engineering at your company, and I know that growing to that position is not an easy fit, right? So there must have been milestones that you have, you know, met on your way. So just like share, just to motivate us to know that, okay, it's you don't just get there in one day. It's like a step. As you climb one step, you go to another step, and then you keep going. So some of these milestones that you have, you know, reached or you have gotten to in your career. So kindly share with us, motivate us. Yes.
Cool. So, you know, the cool thing about the tech industry is that it's ever evolving and it's ever changing, and pathways that didn't exist before automatically come up. But I'll tell you about how mine came to be. So the first milestone I want to tell you about is how I failed first year varsity. And I almost started believing everyone that said to me, this is tough, you're not going to make it, right? And the reason why that milestone stays with me was it was a marker in my space in my life where I could have given up at that point, but I chose to move on. And like I said, money was tough. So I had to go and get a job. So I worked every holiday period, and some money paid some fees, and some money paid some fees. And it took me about 4 years to get my 3-year degree, but I did it, right? And then I started working, and we were standing up Cell C in South Africa for the first time. This was 2002. We were bringing Cell C online. And I said, friends of mine started working, and they sent my CV again, power of the network, right? Natasha, you got to apply. And I remember I was on a bus from Durban to Johannesburg, and I thought, what am I doing here? How am I going to go this far from home all on my own, right? So this is like now 600 kilometers, it was like a full day drive on that bus. And I got here and I said to myself, you're going to make a choice now, right? You're going to tell them that you're going to work hard and they're not going to regret hiring you because you know what you can do when you're in front of your screen. And so that was what I did. And in the second week, I released my first piece of software live into the public domain, right? And I was like, whoa, is that how it works? Is it
wow,
that?
So you hit the ground running just at that instant.
There was no choice. There was absolutely no choice. It was do or die, right? So I realized then that if I started out learning people around me and just putting in more hours than people around me, right? I started picking up different things. I started learning different things. I started speaking to other people. Guys, I promise you, if you saw me back the first day at varsity, I could not speak to anyone. I was too afraid to talk to anyone because I was brought up saying girls should be quiet. You need to sit in the corner. Good girls don't make a noise, you know. Listening to Adora's story, shut up, man. Why does anyone tell you to be quiet? You must have your voice and you must continue to have your voice. And so that first year at Cell C, I just spent more hours than anyone at work. I think Malcolm Gladwell calls it the 10,000 hours. So I reached my expertise because I was just working everyone else. I didn't have anything else to do. My parents were in KZN. But that year taught me something so fundamentally important. I learn differently. I don't learn like how I was taught in this rote way, you know, here's your lessons and, you know, regurgitate, which was how we were marked growing up. I learned by doing. I needed a challenge. I needed something practical. I needed to apply myself. And once I figured out that that works for me, that was my method. And so as I looked at what was around me, there was two options, right? I could go try to get up the senior development route, or there was a beginning industry starting off at that time called software testing. And guys, was it way more fun to break code than it was to build code, right? So as you know, I was getting into this, and it was like, I think it was my year, I was just coming up to a year of working in the team. And my stuff was done, and they asked, can you go and help get this done? So I said, okay, let me test, let me get this right. And then because software testing was still starting up, I found an opportunity. And maybe there's something very important. Be open to the opportunities around you, because it's not going to be just the traditional that happens. Cloud came out. Yeah, cloud came out, right? And what that does is that then there's no one with 10, 20 years of experience in front of you. If you start now, you're the one with 5 years of experience that outperforms even someone with 15 years of experience, because that's your domain, right? So that's what I did. And then I started getting up in the software development. Well, I decided to be moving to testing, and I worked for a mining company. And what had happened at that time was that I was just on my own, so I didn't have anyone to learn from. And I felt, okay, but I'm stagnating here. My first son was born. I thought, I can't do this. If I don't feel as if I'm growing, if I don't feel as if I'm learning something new, I need to move. And I went for this interview, and they asked me something like, what is black box testing? I completely bombed out, right? I didn't know what black box testing was, only to find out that there's this thing called ISTQB, and you can learn these things. And so because of the failing to learn, I learned about, you know, this certification you can do. And in that certification came almost like a spiral rolling of different opportunities. And that's when my leadership part started. And, you know, it's been like a constant, from a milestone perspective, fail, learn, find a niche, and then, you know, just work that niche until all you can get. The next one that came along after testing came along was DevOps. And if there's any place that you could do DevOps without needing anyone else's buy-in, is in testing. So then I took I took on a role as practice lead for automated testing. And then we started bringing Python. Guys, if you feel coding is tough, right? There's a language out there that makes it so easy, right? You know, when we started Varsity, they tried to teach us C++. Oh my goodness, right? When do an image generator on C++, it still haunts my memories. Python is beautiful, right? If you have Python and you have a purpose of something to automate, you can make magic. And so that was it. The other key milestone that I want to tell you about is about finding my voice. It wasn't easy, and it was very scary because I felt as if people were judging me. I felt as if I said something, then they're going to think I'm stupid. If I talked in a meeting, they're going to think I'm trying to show off. And that was all very real in the context of the work environment that it was, until there came a point where I couldn't be quiet anymore, because being quiet meant that I was not going to get the next promotion, right? Being quiet meant that no one was going to see me and understand the value that I could add. And then fast forward a few years later, right? Old Mutual knocks at my door, and I find myself in a place where I get to create. I get to create not just apps and websites and USSD and WhatsApp channels. I get to create really awesome careers with people that are as passionate as I am about seeing other people grow. So I then transition, although I'm in tech, I find sometimes my role is more coach and guide and mentor to get people just unlock the beauty in themselves. And so I'll leave you with this last piece here so you can move on to someone else. But the world of tech is so vast and wide. Someone asked something about passion I saw in the Q&A. Where do you find your passion? The passion is already in here. You know already what you love doing. Now you got to figure out, how do you get people to pay you for what you love doing? And that's the magic.
Magic. Your passion is in you. I think that's like I'm holding on to those words actually. Thank you. Thank you so much, Natasha. So we have even way more questions to ask, because we know you have, all the speakers have, a wealth of knowledge to share from, but in the interest of time, I'll just be taking a final question to close from every speaker. And I'll be starting from Nana. So Nana, to you, what was the best advice you've gotten in your professional career? And, what closing remarks do you have just to close?
Okay, so for me, the best career, the advice I've heard is not to be afraid to try different things, especially in the tech field. Because when I started off, it was hard because, I didn't know whether it was for me, trying a lot of things, learning this, what I need to learn code and all that. But if you are not scared to try something new, you are not scared to make mistakes. You get it. So that's one of the best things that I've learned, and it keeps me moving, And as a product manager, I know you can relate. Sometimes your products you feel you have an issue, but you do not, So trying different solutions till you get the same, till you solve the particular problem. So my advice to everyone here is that you are never too late to start. It's never too late to start in tech. There's no age limit. There's nothing that you need to meet, and you just need the grit, the commitment, and then find a community, because community will help you. When you're in a group of people, with people that are pushing for the same thing, it makes it easier, because you become like you support each other. So in this Women Techsters, just hope that you guys will keep the community spirit and then learn together. Don't be afraid to share your fears or your failures, because it just keeps you moving. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nana. I think your points even reflect in your journey, because you were not afraid, or maybe you were, but even with your fear, you still tried. You came out of your comfort zone from political science, got into tech. So that advice is as much practical as it can be. So guys in the audience, take note of this. Don't be scared. Nothing is too big for you to actually conquer. And if you try it, if it doesn't work, you go to the next thing, but at least you know you tried. Thank you so much, Nana. So to Adora, my question for you is, if you were to, go back in time, or if you were to just tell your younger self something that you want her to hold on to, what advice would you give to your younger self?
What advice would I give to my younger self? I think I turned out pretty great. So I don't know if, because giving my younger self advice would now want to make, because I know myself, I have anxiety issues, would now want to make me change something, and that might alter the course of my entire life. So I might not tell my younger self anything in terms of advice, but I would motivate my younger self and just be like, keep at it, you'll be just fine. So I'll tell my younger self that, definitely. Keep at it, you'll be just fine. But if I had to give advice to someone else, I would say the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. If you ever want to do something, the best time to do it is now. I think now is even the best time to join tech, because now, like back in the day, a lot of resources that I used to cry when I was trying to learn Java before I decided to use Udacity to learn Java with Android. I used to cry because I was reading code from a textbook. Like it's no longer the same. Like now everybody's writing article, everything is just easy now. So if you want to learn, the best time is now. If you try something and you fail, that's fine. You figured out one way to not do that thing, and then you can try other ways, and eventually it will make sense. But don't put yourself in a box. Life is short. I promise you, you don't have monopoly. Maybe it's because of my own philosophy of life, where I just want to give off everything that I can and just die empty and say that, yes, I did live. And that's the same energy that I think a lot of people should have. Give off everything, live your life to the fullest and say you lived, because life is short and nobody has monopoly of time. Younger people are dying now for cancers and heart diseases. People are even dying. I'm talking about people that are dying for sicknesses, or not even the ones that are dying for violence. So nobody knows what the next 2 hours would bring, to talk of tomorrow. So trust me, if you have time now, do what you can now. When people talk about living every day like it's your last, they're telling you, yes, be good so that you don't mistakenly sin, and then, at the last hour, you're now trying to ask for, you get what I mean? There's that living every day like it's your last, being, you should always be kind because you don't know when you will leave this world. But live every day like it's your last, to me, is also that you should make as many memories and do as much as you can, because you don't know when you will leave this world. So if tech is one of the things that you want to do it now. Don't wait till next week. Do it now.
Do it now. That's a word for somebody in the audience. Don't be scared. Don't let fear take over. Do it now. Such wise words. Thank you, Adora. So to Natasha, you've been in tech for a very, very long time. I mean, you saw the dark days of tech, and so I mean, you can actually, if you ask you to rate, how it was then to how it is now, you can compare now. So my question to you now is, how would you rate the tech industry now, especially when it comes to women inclusion, and including women? Because I mean, one of the purposes for the Women Techsters Innovative is to bring more women to tech, and that's why we're even having this open day event. You can see that most the speakers here are women. I am a woman. Everybody's a woman. So how would you say things have progressed over the years in terms of bringing more women to tech, and what would you advise the younger generation of women trying to get into tech, and also trying to climb the ladder of success? You want to get into tech and you want to grow. You don't want to remain at the same place. So yeah, over to you.
Right, thank you. I think where we are as a society globally, where organizations are, where we are in terms of just how much is just exposed to the global stage, means that we are in the best opportunity out of any other generation before us, right? And so it's up to us to take that. Organizations have space set aside for Black females in tech, right? So it's how do you now leverage the opportunities and get into these types of programs? How do you make yourself visible and out there? Adora spoke about it. There's open source communities you can join. There's meetup groups, that you can find to be part of. Your visibility is in your own hands. I think all you need is probably a LinkedIn page, right? And even if you shared your own journey of how you started learning some new language and taught yourself and gave yourself, that has the ability to grow your presence out there. So I think from an industry perspective, the time is now, right? Then in terms of, moving up the career ladder and what advice I would give you, I think Sheryl Sandberg said it best. Treat it like a jungle gym and not a ladder, right? And what that means is that don't just look at going up. There's a world on the side as well. Go down if you need to. Have fun doing it, right? I mean, be curious, explore. And I love the analogy of the jungle gym because it takes away this, there's only so much space at the top there. Actually, if you go this way and you learn some skills that way, you create your own niche, of another ladder, you can go up if you want to. I think that move up, move down, feed your soul. Adora said it. Adora, I just love your words, right? It spoke so many places to my heart. It's like, you only have one life, guys. And in this life, and it may be tough. I had moments where I thought, how am I going to pay for the school fees? Can I even afford to go back? What am I doing to my parents, putting them in this situation? And whatever it was that drove me forward, and I hope that whoever of you is on this line today is here for a reason. And that reason is this is in your hands. Be unapologetic in going out there and getting it for yourself. Find ways of where there's scholarships or there's jobs. And even if you have to work to get there, you get there. And when you're there, don't be afraid to have your voice. Don't let anyone tell you to be quiet. You show them through your work. You show them through your creativity. Show them through just how you love to do what you do, right? And you do it above all by letting no one kill your light or kill your sound. And again, that's the last one, right? Is that as you go in there, is then just be brave. And you'll get through it. You will get through it. If I got through it, you'll get through it.
That's it. That's it. Right. Thank you so much, Natasha. One advice that has been consistent with all our speakers is the time is now. Don't postpone. Don't wait for a later time. Oh, I'll do it later. This is not something to do later. Try. Take a step. Put yourself out there. Own your voice. Don't be quiet. See, this generation is not the time what you want to just sit back and just say, oh, I don't want to. I'm shy. Yeah, you can be shy and you can still, put yourself out there. The two can exist. I mean, this is a fight for your career. So yes, and one other thing that Natasha said that really struck me was you don't actually seeing it in that perspective is intelligent, because many times you look at careers going up. You can also go sideways. You can learn, something else. You can learn another skill. You might start as a software engineer. You feel like, oh, like one of our speakers, Nana was, or she still is, but when she said that, oh, she wanted to do more than, engineering, she moved to product. So that may not necessarily be going up, software engineering wise, but she's expanding her horizon. She's learning new things. She's challenging herself. So I hope these wise words from our speakers have helped us blessed. At least for now, you know that indeed this was I said this in the beginning, that this is going to be a hot panel session because of the wealth of knowledge of our speakers. And I'm sure now you are convinced. I don't need to convince you anymore. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for, being honest. I think this was a very, very honest. It felt like you were talking to your friends, your sisters, and your siblings. So thank you so much from your story, Natasha, of how, you started, you wrote codes on paper. I mean, I think that is very, very, significant. And it shows like the grit and the resilience you were ready to put. Thank you, Nana. Thank you for sharing your story, how you got from, cloud computing to to product management, from your studies, meeting new people, challenging yourself. It is really, really motivating. Thank you, Adora. Thank you for your wise words, your stories. Your stories were really, really beautiful to hear. I didn't want it to end. So thank you so much. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for all you do for the tech community. So I think now we'll be taking questions. So I know time is fast spent, so maybe we can take like 3 questions. So I think I should ask the host, Orolua or Blessing, how many questions can we do for the time we have?
Okay, hi, thank you so much. Thank you for the session. I think because of the time we have left, we can take 3 questions. And if,
right.
Yeah, we can take questions and see how we go from there.
Okay, so we have 9 questions in the Q&A section. All right, I'm just going to, so if I don't call you, sorry, it's going to be really random, but I'm also trying to, as random as I want it to be, I want it to be a question that, you know, like would also help other people. So one question I am going to take from here is from an anonymous attendee, and he or she says here that how easy was it for the panelists to determine the aspect of tech to transition to? I know for some people they didn't transition, like for Adora and for Natasha, they actually started out. But you know, even in tech, there are different niches. So this question could also be, how easy was it for you to, or how did you make like that decision of what niche to focus on? I have been really confused between transitioning into product design and product management. So I think I could, Nana can answer this question. So Nana, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So,
yes, so
I think the first thing, it boils down to doing your research, because tech is broad. Like I earlier mentioned, you need to figure out what you love to do, what you would want to do. So there's a lot of research. You sitting down to figure out what can I do? Because sometimes you have these transferable skills. You have these skills you've been exhibiting in your non-technical roles, and then there are roles in tech that you could use. Okay, you could use them there. So just sit down, research about the fields in tech you want, and then the one that really interests you. So, because you remember Adora mentioned something about, if you don't have the vibe, don't do it because everybody's doing it. Don't do it because product management is the new thing in town. You know, it's a new thing. Product management is doing this. Just sit down and just get to know what you really want to do. And after you find, let's say, people in that space, you speak to them. Maybe this is what I want to do. How easy? What do I have to do? How difficult is it? And just get to know their view. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. So for the person that asked the question, do your research, know your strengths, and know where to fit in. I hope Nana answered your question and you're able to pick lessons from that. There's this question here that I really want to stay because I like it. So the question is also from an anonymous attendee. The question goes, can a beginner learn software engineering as 44 years old? So yeah, Natasha, you're already nodding your head, so please just go ahead and do us the favor.
You can learn anything at any age you want to, right? And I think with ChatGPT, you can even go ask it how to learn. Absolutely, definitely, right? When I want to learn something, I go in, beginner's guide 2, and then I start, right? Or how to get started in. It's helped me clean my pool, learn Python, learn a bit of data science. So it's quite versatile. And that's how I get started. I think if you match that up with something that you want to get done. When I was trying to learn, when I learned Python, I was trying to learn machine learning because I wanted to integrate it into the testing lifecycle. So we could do like self-healing health checks. So I said, okay, let me get started with this. So I learned Python at the same time as machine learning. And as I was doing that, I realized I could actually go in and mess with Excel on the back and just like create these whack scripts that will take 40 different sheets. Because like at the bank at that time, when I was at the bank, everything comes in spreadsheets, right? And like in 2 seconds, everything was there. So I think if you want to learn something, you can do it at whatever age you want to. Do it with purpose. Figure out a challenge that you want to do. And And then that hours, you know, like I said, Malcolm Gladwell says, to become an expert at anything, you just need 10,000 hours. I will say to you, it's like, I did this once because I was quite curious. I used to spend a lot of time in traffic. So like every hour, it'd be like an hour drive from here to town. And so I decided to listen to audiobooks during that time. And by the end of the year, I clocked out just with that 1 hour drive, right? Almost like 2 full weeks of like in-classroom training, just by continuously learning as I was driving. So yeah,
You can do anything.
And you should do it. And unfortunately, I don't have like a handle, but you can get me on Twitter. I mean, on LinkedIn. But then I want to hear what your story is. I want to hear how you become a software engineer at 44. Whether or not it is.
Looking forward to that as well. Thank you so much. So yes, this has been an interesting session. Like I said earlier, thank you again for your time. I learned a lot, even from moderating. Trust me, I took down some notes that I'm going to be acting on even going forward. So yeah, I see that Oreoluwa dropped, links to the speaker's bio. So, I mean, to show your appreciation, you could, check them out on LinkedIn, connect with them, follow them on Twitter. So if you also want, anywhere you want people to follow you on, you can, that's to the speakers, you can drop your Twitter handles or your LinkedIn. I think Aurel has already dropped LinkedIn profile so that people can follow you, learn from your, wealth of experience, because the truth is they can't learn everything here. So from the little you share online too, they will be able to pick 1 or 2 things. It's been an absolute honor moderating this session. Thank you, Tech for Dev. Thank you, the Women Techsters Initiative, for having me. Bye, everyone. So I think my work is done here. So yeah, over to you, or I don't know who is taking that.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
All right. Please, before you go, thank you so much for joining in. If you don't mind, we'd like you to please turn on your video so that we could take a picture together. Thank you so much, Natasha. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Adora, for the amazing session. We had a blast today. It was really good learning from you. Usman, kindly confirm that we can take the pictures. Yeah, so please, if you don't mind, we'd like you to turn on your videos so that we can have pictures. I think it's very important to have this memorable day. Ladies, please don't go yet.
I apologize in advance because I'm not able to turn on my video right now.
Okay, that's fine. Ladies, please do not leave yet. There are a couple of questions that you probably asked that Elizabeth, I think the reason why she didn't ask the question is because we'll be answering the questions at the end of, immediately after the session. We'll take pictures with everyone. Usman, please confirm if we are good with pictures.
Yes, please. Yes, person, we can.
So, have you taken the pictures?
Just a moment, I'm doing that now.
I think you should smile. Let's smile.
No. All right, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Usman, for the pictures. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Elizabeth, for moderating the session. It was really nice. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Adora. Thank you for bringing the Niger vibes. It was relatable. Thank you, Natasha, for sharing as well. It was indeed very, very amazing and awesome hearing your stories. I know that you've inspired the ladies because I can see from the comment section people asking different questions. So I'd like to take our time to answer some of the questions. Somebody had asked how they can apply for the fellowship programs on graphics design. So for the fellowship program, we currently have 8 learning tracks: product design, product management, data science, software development, cybersecurity, blockchain, 3D and mixed reality, and mobile application. We do not have graphics design. as a learning track. However, if you're interested in design, I think you can also try product design because you get to learn a whole lot. So while some of the speakers are still here, I would also like to suggest that a great platform for you to start whatever career it is you want in tech is the Women Techsters. The Women Techsters is doing a whole lot, and I would like to say that all of our programs are tuition free. You don't get to pay for participating in our programs. Okay, so somebody asked, how do I join the Women Techsters? She said Women in Tech. It's actually the Women Techsters. So let me walk you through the Women Techsters initiative. We currently have 5 initiatives. 2 of the initiatives are advocacy driven. That's the Women Techsters Open Day and Tech Girls Drive. You're here in the Open Day today. The focus is to bring women who are interested in learning about tech, and then we bring exclusive speakers and amazing speakers like the people you've listened to today, and they'll speak to you about how they started their journey in tech and how they were able to navigate through it. And also the Tech Girls Advocacy Drive is tailored towards girls who are in school, who are in junior secondary schools or senior secondary schools, girls within the ages of 8 to 18 years, introducing them to tech and also telling them about the importance of STEM. And then we want to believe that the session today has been very insightful and you are wondering what next. I think the next steps for you is to consider applying for the Women Techsters Bootcamp. Now, the Women Techsters Bootcamp is a 3 weeks training. It's a virtual training. However, it's not self-paced because there's a facilitator in class. So for the bootcamp, we have 2 sessions. We have the weekend class and we have the weekday class. The weekend class starts on Thursday to Sunday, while the weekday class is from Monday to Friday. All of the class are, you're expected to be in class because you have a facilitator in the class. It's very, very insightful. We've seen women go ahead after the 3 weeks training to land themselves in internships. We've seen them also eager to learn more and then sign up for the fellowship. If you joined in earlier, I think Jiro had mentioned that the bootcamp, we just closed an application last week, Sunday, but not to worry. We have another application that will be coming up second week, that will be opening second week in February. So we can prepare and plan to apply for it when it comes up. Don't miss the opportunity to learn tech skill. You've always been willing to learn. And then we also have Women Techsters Fellowship. So sometimes very soon, Women Techsters Fellowship application for the class of 2024 will be open. I must say this at this particular point in time, that it's a very competitive process. Last year, we had over 14,000 applications and everyone was glaring for the space of 1,500. This year is going to be much more bigger, and the space also is going to be very, very limited. So if you would like to apply for the bootcamp, for the fellowship rather, please ensure that you're following us on our social media platform. You have your notifications turned on so that you will always get information when the application comes up. It's very, very important because it's a competitive process. Once again, fellowship is worth over $2,500. However, it is tuition free. You don't have to pay anything. I'm only mentioning the worth of it. The beautiful thing about the Women Techsters Fellowship is that whilst you have gone through the Women Techsters Fellowship, which is 6 months of training, 6 months of digital skills training in class, it's also virtual. However, you will be interacting with people across different countries. For this year's fellowship, that's for the class of 2023, we're in 15 countries. And for the next year, we'll also be expanding our country reach. And so it means that you'll be in class with different people from different countries. You not only learn digital skills, but you also learn how to collaborate, how to communicate, how to work in teams, how to solve problems together also as a team. It's an amazing, amazing fellowship you don't want to miss out on. It's a 6 months of training, and then there is a conversation on internship and mentorship 6 months after the Women Techsters Fellowship. Once again, the application will be on very soon. You don't want to miss out on it. Remember that it is tuition free. You need to have your device to be able to participate in the fellowship, however. And then we have Women Techsters Masterclass. Masterclass is tailored for women who have between 6 months to 3 to 5 years of experience within different learning tracks. So for the masterclass, it's tailored towards any of the 8 learning tracks, where we have an expert within a specific field come to facilitate a masterclass for 2 days. It's always insightful. It's a very small class of about 50 to 100 women, but it's always engaging, interactive, and a time to learn. We've had so far masterclass on product management. We've had masterclass on software development, on data science. We've had masterclass on cybersecurity, and it's been amazing. So you don't want to miss out on the opportunity to learn. And then I think I've pretty much mentioned the programs that we have at Tech for Dev. You just need to pick the one that works for you. Remember that all of our programs are for free. And one of the things you've learned is you need to understand that, tech is not coding. There's coding in some part of tech, some learning tracks. But for you to be in tech, you don't need to code. You don't need to, it's not all learning tracks that require that you learn how to code. You could choose to go into product design. You could choose to go into product management. Don't beat yourself to it and say, oh, I've only heard that if I have to be in tech, I have to code, and I don't like to code. So don't beat yourself at it. You can always start from the bootcamp. You get information on the bootcamp. You get information as to what works, and that way it will be helpful for you to know how to navigate. So I know that a couple of people have asked questions around them applying for the bootcamp and not being able to get through with it. If you've applied for the bootcamp, for the last one that I've closed, not to worry, your application is under review. You'll get an update as to whether you scaled through or whether you, whatever it is, whatever the outcome of the application is, you'll be notified on what it is and how to move on from where it is. So just stay tuned to it. And then I think that there's a question around, trying to see the question. I'm interested in cybersecurity. There's a 3 weeks training on that. Yeah, so that's the bootcamp. Application is closed, but it will be opened for the bootcamp 2.5 sometimes in February, 2nd week in February. So just keep a tab with us. Keep checking out Tech for Dev. Turn on your notification on social media so that you can always get updates as to when our application goes up. I should also mention that for the bootcamp, there are 5 learning tracks, not 8. It's the fellowship that has 8 learning tracks. For the bootcamp, because it's 3 weeks, there are 5 learning tracks: product design, product management, software development, cybersecurity, and data analysis. So not data science, but data analysis. So data analysis. If you want to learn data analysis, you can choose to sign up for the bootcamp. That will be coming up very soon. Someone says, can we have access to the Zoom recordings? Of course, at the end of this call, we collate the video, and in the coming days, you'll get access to the recordings from the video. We'll give you a link as to how to get that done. Okay. I think I've pretty much explained some of the questions as to how to get into the fellowship. First of all, you need to sign up for the fellowship when it comes out, and then you get updates on the next steps on how to move on from there. Just keep tab with Tech for Dev. One of the advantages we have at Tech for Dev is the fact that all of our programs are tuition free. You don't have to pay a dime to learn tech skill. However, it's required that you have your commitments, like you have like a device that you'll be learning, and you also have like stable internet to be able to learn. Other than that, all of the classes are for free. Okay, I want to believe that you've learned 1 or 2 from the meeting today, and I want to believe that you got great value for your time. I know that you have your notepad filled up. I know you have nuggets shared by some of the speakers today, and that is really great. We'd like you to keep tab with us on our social media platform. So if something you heard today interests you, you can go ahead and share on your social media and tag at Tech for Dev, and we'll be happy to see your post and possibly repost for you or like it. So you have learned a whole lot, like a whole lot to serve you. Allow me to use, I'm sure you've gotten the Aspire you need to Maguire, and it's really nice for you to take your bed right now and keep at it. Don't sleep. Remember that if you want to get a different result, you can keep doing the same thing and expect to get a different result. So now is the time for you to take your bed and move. Now is the time for you to learn that tech skill that you've always dreamt of learning. Okay, I'd like to ask my colleague Usman if there's anything you would want to share. Follow us on our social media. On Twitter, we are at Tech4Dev HQ. On Instagram, we are at Tech4Dev. On Facebook, at Tech4Dev. On LinkedIn, at Tech4Dev, Technology for Social Change and Development Initiative. So once again, on Instagram, we are at Tech4Dev. On LinkedIn, we are Technology for Social Change, rather Tech4Dev. On Twitter, we are at Tech4Dev HQ. On Facebook, at Tech4Dev. So whichever platform you think of communicating to us, we'll be happy to connect with you as well. I want to believe that you've had a great time. You've learned a whole lot. Once again, thank you to all of our speakers. It's been amazing. We won't have been able to do this. We have a big dream of reaching 5 million women by 2030. We know this is possible and visible, and we have this assurance and confidence because we have amazing women who are backing us up. We have amazing partners who are supporting the work we do at Tech4Dev. So at this point, I'd like to say a very special big thank you to all of our partners, from ISDB to Microsoft, to Central Bank of Egypt, to FinTech Egypt, we have a whole lot of partners that is ensuring that we are able to do what we do, and we look forward to even signing up more, a lot more partners in the coming weeks and in the coming days. All right, so at this point, Usman, do you have anything you would like to say? So I guess that will be it tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Natasha, for staying true to the end of the call. Thank you, Elizabeth, for staying true to the end of the call. From all of us at Tech4Dev, have a good evening from wherever you're joining us, or have a good morning from wherever you're joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.